The Illustration was a political and social movement developed in Europe in the 18th century. It considered the scientific method as the base of human progress and reason for establishing a new order. The illustrated ideas were in process of formation since the 15th century, with some philosophers and events that were crucial for its development. Gutenberg's printing. As a political exile in France, Johannes Gutenberg invents a new printing machine with steel and wood that perfect the ancient Chinese model. It became crucial for promote the ideas in books, magazines, and posters. Industrial Revolution. It began in 1750 with the invention of the steam engine by James Watt. It made the economics to become from agricultural to industrial, and it set the basis for capitalism. People's growth. Because of the prosperity present in the cities, many people from rural zones emigrate, and the world population increased in 471 million in 100 years. 7 Years' War. From 1756 to 1763 was the first conflict developed globally. From Europe between Russia and Austria, and in North American colonies between Britain and France. European absolutism. During this period, monarchs of Europe governed with absolute power. There were no other powers of state. And also, there was belief that the rule was a divine order of God. Early days. Before the middle of the 18th century, there were some philosophers that already had illustrated thoughts. Newton and Galileo. In the 16th century, Galileo Galilei questioned the idea that the Earth was the center of the universe, and he found satellites in Jupiter and mountains in the Moon. By his part, in the 17th century, Newton promulgated his gravity laws. John Locke, considered as the father of classical liberalism, was an English philosopher who said that man is equal to each other and it's a free and rational being. He looks for his liberty by judicial institutions. René Descartes. In the 7th century, he was a philosopher and mathematician who looked for rational solutions for problems in geometry and arithmetics. That's why he questioned the dominant philosophy. Francis Bacon. The English lawyer was the first in support of scientific thoughts. He thought that inductive reason and observance are the base of human progress and the knowledge. And he said that the methods of science were wrong. David Hume. The father of empiricism thought that experience must be the base of knowledge, and also the observance of nature. And the inductive reason and casualties can't be justified. Church and state. During this period, philosophers thought the church can't intervene in government affairs. That's why they look for freedom of religion, and they never reject the existence of God. They just say that the man is the center of the universe. Encyclopedia. The Dictionary of Arts, Sciences, and Trades is an illustrated book promoted by philosophers that explain the scientific knowledge, and it was principally published by Denis Diderot and Jean d'Alembert. Democratic government. Because of absolutism, the democratic ideas emerged. It said that the government must be chosen and controlled by the people, and it must have 3 powers of state. Montesquieu. Charles Louis II, Baron of Montesquieu, was a French lawyer who shared all these illustrated democratic ideas. He criticized the monarchy because of its methods of slavery, and torture. In his 3-power theory, he said that the state must have 3 powers: executive with president and prime minister, legislative with deputies and senators, and judicial with a supreme court of justice. This with the end of preserve the freedom of the human. Voltaire. François-Marie Arouet, better known as Voltaire, was a French writer who said and criticized the church. he wasn't against the monarchy, he just